Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is If Loving You Was Wrong, Season 4, Episode 17, and the name of this episode is In God's Hands. Yo, this was a good episode, and let me go on to say, I think it was a smart idea to move this show to Wednesday nights at 10, because I think the change has actually made the show better, and now it's more enjoyable, at least from my perspective. I mean, this show has definitely improved, and the content is a lot better too. So, let me begin. All right, the episode picks up, where it left off. Randall and Alex are in the shed, and he's, propositioning her to take off her clothes. But then she's like, and he's still just playing these mind games with her and shit, because she's like, no, I'm not gonna take off my clothes, and but she's like pleading like, look, I just want to end this. I want us to, have peace rather than be enemies. And, I'm just trying to, bury the hatchet. But then he starts asking questions like, do you still love me? And, do you think about me? And, she says, yeah, I have mostly angry thoughts about your ass. But then she's like, well, think about me sexually? And she's like, yes. She's like, how was I? And she's like, you're good. And he's like, am I better than Brad? And she's like, no, Brad's better. It's like, yeah, but Brad's not me. I'm just like, if you don't take your psychotic ass on somewhere, Psycho Betty, don't nobody got time for your bullshit. And she's just like, can we just... And he's like, answer my question. And just keeps on interrogating her, trying to psychoanalyze her and shit. Because that's how he got her the first time. And then she's saying that, like, look, I just want to end this. Just stop this. This is going out of hand. Can we just, like, make peace? Can we just not do this anymore? And then he's saying, like, get on your knees. And she's like, Randall. And she's like, and he said, like, get on your knees. And she says no. And he's like, well, get the hell out of my yard. And she keeps trying to talk to him, but then eventually he just yells at her and then, like, literally grabs her and pushes her out of the shed. I'm like, oh, we get mad with our, with our white girl when she don't want to swab your knob, huh? Little nasty bastard. I was just like, and then Alex, I'm like, really, bitch? You knew when you got in that shed what he wanted. Now, if you wasn't trying to do that, you shouldn't have followed him behind there. Because I'm saying both of them are the cause of all the crazy shit that's going on. So, it all started with the two of them. So, here it is. He mad because he ain't getting no, he ain't getting no, he ain't getting no sloppy mushroom, and she's all mad because he's still gonna hold everything against her. But he's talking cash money shit about his lawyer, because from the looks of it, Larry looked like he did. So, you may not have all this pool that you talking, because we can say that. I'll say this, that Larry has been around the entire time. With Randall and all his maneuverings and all of his bullshit, him, setting up the video cam and all of that. This is all like Larry, because we've seen how conniving Larry is. So we see that, he's always had Larry in his back pocket. But with Larry being dead, that's going to diminish Randall in so many ways. And I just can't wait for it to happen. So Alex is, after he done pushed her ass out the shed, she's pretty much walking, back on the sidewalk and runs into Natalie. Natalie's like, what the hell are you doing from back there? What's going on? And she's like, tell me, what's going on? And she's like, well, he figured it out. He knows about the whole DNA situation. And she tells, Natalie that he had this device that was recording, my house, and, he had an alert on it, and then, Brad took it down, and while it was in here, it was still recording, and, me and Brad was having a conversation, and he heard it. So she's like, that motherfucker. It's like Psycho Betty just don't know when to stop. And then she's like, but she's like, but why did you go back there? It's like, because I was afraid he was going to tell Brad and all of this and, all this crap. And I'm like, well, yeah, you also afraid that he's going to tell Brad that he pretty much almost had you back, giving lip service like you were back, back in season 1. But then Natalie said that, well, and then then Alex being simple as hell, was like, well, Natalie, you told me to get crazy, when I was around. And she said, yeah, but I didn't tell you to go follow him in the shed. And I definitely told you, like I told you, stay away from him. But if he comes at you, then you get crazy. But no, stop talking to him. Stay away from him. What's wrong with you? And she's saying that, look, you trying to say I just went back there because I don't want him to chase Brad away and all of this, and I don't want to lose my baby. And she's like, yeah, but going back there is going to ruin your family. Like, thank you, Natalie. Thank you. Finally, somebody is telling Alex some common sense. You keep going back there, messing with Randall, is going to destroy everything. But Alex is simple as hell, and we see, she obviously didn't learn a lesson, and especially what actually happens at the end, and I can't wait to get to that. So it's pretty much that's what Natalie told her, that look, you just need to stay the hell away from him and just leave him alone. Then after that, we see that, so pretty much we see after that, Natalie goes into her house and Alex gets in the car and she's on her way to the hospital because she's trying to get in between Brad and Marcy with a jealous ass. Like, bitch, the reason why he over there is because of your dumb ass. You're getting tired of your damn lying. But then again, I'm going to get on Brad's ass, too, because Brad is full of shit, and I'm definitely going to roast his ass on this episode. So, just hold tight. Next, we have a scene with Lucian and Kelly at the jail. Man, I'm not going to lie, Edwina Finley Dickinson, you delivered tonight in this scene because she was bawling. It's like the whole thing when, like when I think about this, I think about like when Samora says, a bitch is in jail. All of a sudden it's like the whole idea that the bitch is in jail can set in. And she's just reacting, like she's breaking down because she realizes that she done fired a lawyer. Everything right now is stacked up against her. Which, again, Kelly, you need to get Legal Shield and ID Shield. And for all of y'all who are watching this review, check out my link in the description box, about Legal Shield and ID Shield. Get the legal system at your fingertips. I mean, what better way to have the law serve you when it's an app on your phone and you can always get access to an attorney anytime, day or night. See, if Kelly had this, Kelly wouldn't be in the shit she was in. See, she filed a restraining order with her attorney, but her attorney was affiliated with Travis' family. See, if you would have signed up with Legal Shield, you would have been covered by a national law firm. The Canes wouldn't have been able to affect anything on your behalf, and you would have gotten that restraining order in before his, and you would have came out bigger in the end. But due to the fact that you didn't have good legal representation, that's why you're here. Well, you somewhat had it with Ian, but Ian right now is being a punk ass fuckboy, and right now until he sets this thing straight with Kelly, I gives no fucks about Ian. Yeah, it's all cute that he got a little thing for Marcy, but right now, Ian don't deserve no fucking Marcy until he makes things right, because you're literally taking a young black boy away from his mother, and for me, that's the worst crime you can commit towards any black man or any black child, is to take their mother away from them, especially when you know she's innocent. So yeah, in this scene, pretty much Lucian pretty much tells her, because her in the last episode, Lucian and Natalie had a conversation, And he asks Kelly that, look, you need to let Justice come up here to see you. And she's like, I don't want him to come to jail. I don't want him to see me like this and all of that. But he was like, look, he needs to talk to you. He needs to hear this from you, you know. And then we also know that, you know, Justice has been hearing stuff at school about his mom and about the whole Travis killing. So right now, Justice is kind of going through it just like she is. So, you know, Lucian is letting her know that, look, he needs to hear this from you. And, you know, she's pretty much, you know, saying that, look, if you do not actually talk to him and give him the benefit of the doubt, he's going to draw his own conclusions, and this can lead him down the wrong path. So, and then, you know, he definitely lets Kelly know that, look, he's blaming himself. Why do you think the last time he said, he actually confessed and said that he did it? Because him being a young black boy with a mother, you automatically have that instinct that you have to protect your mother. And I can relate to that, being a young black man being raised by a single mother, me and my brother. So I've always had that, you know, being the eldest, I always had that protective instinct that I got to protect my mother. And I'm not going to let nothing happen to her. So I definitely related to that. And, you know, and pretty much, you know, he lets her know that, look, you can do this and you need to talk to him and we're going to set it up. But then when Kelly broke down, man, I was fighting the tears. I am not going to lie. Edwina really brought that out. You know, she's literally at the end of her rope. And it's really going to take an active guide, you know, to actually come in and change the situation for her. Because right now, everything is stacked against her, especially after that, you know, that bitch Psycho Betty then, you know, got her to make a confession that they caught on tape. Okay, then we see that afterwards, you know, after he visits Kelly, he calls Natalie, you know, to check and pretty much says that, you know, I talked to Kelly and, you know, she agrees that she's going to actually let Justice come up to visit her. So she's like, okay, well, I'll arrange it after I pick up. She said, I'll arrange it, you know, but afterwards I got to leave because I got to pick up the kids and all that. So then they hang up the phone and Natalie gets a knock on the door. And turns out it's Randall, a.k.a. Psycho Betty. And he coming over there saying, oh yeah, I have to apologize. I came over to apologize, you know. After all, I found out the kid is mine, and I'm sorry for everything, you know, about with Lucian and all that, and, you know. And she's like, okay, you done? Like, because why the hell are you here? What do you want? And he's saying that, you know, I also heard the recording, you know, about Alex and Brad, you know, switching the DNA, and, you know, I wonder how they were able to do that. I mean, they talked to you about it. I know you know. And she's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Randall. Get the hell out of my house. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh yeah, because I wonder who could have done this. I wonder, you know, if it's Dr. Roston. It's got to be Dr. Roston. Yeah, it's definitely got to be, you know, Dr. Roston. I mean, who else could have done it? I don't know who else could have done it. I mean, you know, could you tell me? Just say it. If it's not Dr. Roston, who else could it be? And the next thing you know, we see Natalie take a knife and stab the shit down. She's like, you must think I'm a damn fool, huh? So what is it? You just think that I'm just going to... You really think I'm just some ignorant-ass bitch. And maybe I am. But here it is. You come up in here doing all of this shit, thinking that I'm just going to tell you stuff and I'm just going to regurgitate some information for you. Newsflash, player. I'm from the hood. And we don't do that. And I'm too smart for your bullshit. I'm like, Natalie, you better fucking go off. And then it just really made Randall look like that big. Like, that's why I mess with Nellie, because Nellie is that one chick that ain't afraid of Randall. She can smell him from a mile away, and she has no problem checking him. And she just let him know, I'm too smart for your bullshit. He's like, yeah, I know. You know, that hood mentality. And I like how the way you did the house. I mean, all the black art, and it's interesting. I'm like, see, that's the reason why you chasing white pussy, because you pretty much grew up in a white bread, you know, neighborhood. So, you know, versus Kelly, who literally lived on the hard knocks, you pretty much lived in the, you know, white bread middle class. Because we can definitely tell, like with Miss Louise, they came from good wholesome living. You know, they definitely weren't hurting for money. So that's the reason why Randall has this superiority complex, because he's a white man trapped in a black man's body, which is why he obviously has an obsession with white women. There we go. And if anything, we even know that Miss Louise liked the white girl he was dating, you know, before he married Marcy. She wanted that white girl to be his wife. I remember that. So I was peeping that even back then. Oh yeah, it's definitely that colorism shit. And I definitely peeped it. Then we get another crazy scene. Damn, Eddie's ass finally comes back to the precinct. He gets cornered by Lucian, and Lucian is like, you know, he pretty much corners Eddie, and Eddie still's acting real nonchalant. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Lou. I mean, I told you, if you want to know about Andrew, you need to ask my Uncle Rusty, and that's the last time I'm going to say it. He's like, you know what, you full of shit, because you know damn well I'm asking about Larry. Where the hell is he? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. You know, just like Andrew, I don't know where Larry is. I don't know where he is. You know, still playing dumb, but I'm like, dude, you know Lucian know where the hell you was at, and know you was in the middle of nowhere, so he knows damn well you done did some bullshit. So he knows where Larry is. So then, you know, Lucian just tells him, like, look, I know you embarrassed. He made a fool out of you and everything. But, dude, what you doing right now is stupid. You've gone too far. And all I know, for your sake, he better resurface soon. You know, and he was like, yeah, and you already know what he did to me. And you're like, and if anything, I wanted to shoot him, but you fucked it up because you got in the way. And he was like, he's like, what, so people embarrass you, you think you can just go around shooting people? And he's like, why the hell not? I'm like, Eddie, you gotta take your ass on somewhere with your crazy ass. I was like, he is doing the most. And then all of a sudden, you know, eventually they kind of parted ways, and, you know, Esperanza comes around and talks to Lucian, and she's saying that, you know, she's looking for Stevens. She's been calling him like 5 times, and he ain't answer. And, you know, Lucian's like, well, it's his off day. And maybe that's the reason why he's not calling you. But she worried. And, you know, I'm just like, see, here it is. Her ass did all this stunt and all this shit talking that she ain't want him and all that. And it's obvious you got feelings for him. But since you've been with Eddie's crazy ass, he done made you so psychotic and so damaged as his ass that you were just putting damn Steven through the blues. And quiet as kept, I think something happened to him, because, you know, next thing you know, when Eddie comes back around, she goes to Eddie, she's like, what did you do with Steven? And then he was like, oh, well, tell you the truth, I haven't seen him since he left your house like at 6:16 in the morning. Oh, your little boyfriend and all this shit. And she's like, yeah, yeah. He's like, yeah. And you had him up in the same house where my daughter lives at and all this. I'm like, dude, it ain't even about your damn daughter, Eddie. Shut the hell up. Your damn daughter was asleep. She didn't even know the man was there. It ain't about your damn daughter. You just want to have control over Esperanza. Stupid bastard. Johnson. Well, you had him in the same house my daughter was. I'm like, so what? It's a house that she paying for and a house that she maintaining. She do whatever the hell she want. But then she's saying that, you know, if I find out anything, if I do not get in touch with Stevens, I'm actually going to the FBI, and I mean this shit. And I'm like, girl, you don't even realize that, Lucian, you already right there with FBI, and you don't even realize it. But she was like really going off, and I'm like, ooh, you really up in your feelings, you know, because you really like Steven, but here it is, you did all of that extra shit trying to be cute. And it could be that Stevens is alive, but you know, he just don't want to deal with Esperanza's ass, and Esperanza calling and calling, and he just ignoring her ass. It could be that. I mean, at the end of the day, like, him not talking to you is due to the fact that you was doing too damn much. But then again, we saw that black van, you know, follow him, so Eddie did something to Stevens and shit, because you know how Eddie is. And then he pretty much, like, after a while, like, Lucian was just had enough of Eddie. He's like, man, why don't you just go somewhere? Why are you here? Like, you just do nothing but bring damage everywhere. He's like, oh, you hurt my feelings. Oh my God, that damn Eddie's a mess. So yeah, he's pretty much on his trail. So then, we actually see, you know, the lawyer that Kelly, the public defender. You know, again, if she had legal shield, she wouldn't need no public defender. Just saying. Yeah, check out that link again. So, pretty much Lucian talks to the public defender. He's pretty much saying that, look, you know, she fired me, and pretty much, you know, the DA gave her a deal, you know, for her to do life for 2 crimes, and like, Lucian's like, that ain't no damn deal, man. He's like, hey, it's better than the death penalty, you know, and he also shows him the video with Randall getting her to confess of her shooting Travis. So they're saying that, look, it's there, and you know, the DA has seen it, and that's pretty much the deal they're offering. And she's saying that, look, it's not a deal, you know. And he pretty much says that, look, you know, I wish you all the best, but he's saying that, look, you know, what do we got to go on? And he's saying that, look, she's innocent. But then the lawyer said it, like, yeah, saying she's innocent and proving she's innocent is totally 2 different things, which calls Ian's bitch ass. So until you actually, you know, use that information to get Kelly's ass out of jail, Ian ain't shit to me. And that's where I stand with that. So pretty much, you know, him and the lawyer part ways, but he kind of like let him know that, you know, he shook Lucian's hand and he said like, hey, I did the best I could, but hey, she really ain't got much of a case, and until she gets some evidence or whatever, and hopefully you got some luck with the next lawyer. So what he ends up doing after that, he calls Ian, and he lets him know that I found Larry. I'm going to go get him. And he's like, is he okay? He's like, I don't know yet, but I'll know when I get there. But then he says, now I need you to hold up your end of the bargain. I need you to get a lawyer to help Kelly. So he refers this guy named Derulio, and he's a rival of Larry's, and he's supposed to be a really good lawyer. So, and he said that, yeah, he ain't cheap either. So, you know, call him up there and y'all work that out. So we see that he did get another an actual, you know, legit attorney for her to represent her. So, and hey, if Larry and if Ian, you got any real moral conscience, you'll send those papers that prove that Kelly's innocent to him, so they can take him down in court. It'd be a way of checking Larry's ass. But then again, Larry possibly is dead, so we just have to wait and see. So then we actually see that after that, we see that, you know, when Ian was talking to Lucian, Ian was at the hospital. So after he finished talking to him, he goes in to see Marcy, and he was saying that, you know, she was saying like, you know, oh yeah, about those papers with the house, I'll take care of it eventually. He says, oh, don't worry, I got that taken care of. And she's like, yet again, you didn't even need me, but then yet you're here. And he's like, yeah, I was worried about you. You know, I want to see that you were taken care of. And we just see Brad's ass getting jealous as shit. And that's why I'm about to let Brad fucking have it. Because then all of a sudden he says, I got some good news for you, but can we speak alone? And Brad was looking like he didn't want to leave and shit. And she's like, it's okay, you can go. And he presents her that the divorce papers, and that they've already been filed with the courts. So pretty much, the divorce is going through. So that definitely made her feel better, because she was already shooken up and everything, and she hasn't heard anything about what's going on with the baby, and that literally put a smile on her face to know that Larry got him to sign the divorce papers. Well, Larry actually tricked his ass to doing it, but yeah. So I was just like, oh yeah, he was had to do that, because he hates Randall, so he's ready to get Randall out of her hair. So pretty much he says that, I want to make sure that you're okay, and that, so you can go home and you can rest. And then he's like, I'll call you later. And you can tell by the way he walked, the way he was looking at her, he's in love with Marcy. He really is in love with her, but at the end of the day, Ian, fuck you and fuck your love, because until you do right by Kelly, you don't deserve love, as far as I'm concerned. You're taking a young boy away from his mother, and because of that, you get no respect from me. I do love the actor. Shout out to Jay Hunter. He's doing a great job playing this character. But Ian, fuck you. Fuck. Alright. So then after he leaves, he runs into Brad, and Brad calls himself, throwing up at him like, how dare you? What kind of scumbag lawyer are you that you would come up here to worry about your, signing off your house and all of that? Why would you even do this after she's in this state? And Ian's like, I didn't come up here for that. That was taken care of. And he says, I came up here because I care about her. And he's like, what do you mean you care about her? You don't even know her. I'm like, Marcy ain't your woman, bruh. Didn't you move back in with Marcy and decided y'all were going to play house again? And every time, Marcy wanted a piece of you, you always was pushing her away. But yet every time she called, you ran over there. So Brad really pissed me off, because Brad, you up here doing all this flexing. First of all, she's not your woman. Second, you're still married to Alex. And third, what, you think that you just supposed to go between, when shit don't go right with Alex, you going to run to Marcy and then want to snuggle up with her, but then all of a sudden when you get tired of snuggle up with Marcy, you can run back to Alex? You selfish bastard. You got some damn nerve. And he pretty much kind of let him know that, look, I care about her. And he's like, well, you don't even know her. He's like, well, I care about her, and as far as that's none of your concern. So I was like, okay, Ian. Oh, Ian is really trying to get himself in there, because he sees that Brad is going to be competition, but he don't see him as competition. But definitely Brad is like, oh no, she's mine. Because now you ain't the only guy that she can go to, and you feel some kind of way. So that's going to trip you up, because if things don't work out with Alex, you ain't gonna have an option too. So we saw all that go down, and he pretty much said that, he's saying, but I'm just here for her well-being and for her health. And Ian says, I'm here for the same thing. See you later, Brad. I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, I know who you are, and I know what this is. Ian's a lawyer, so he definitely got that insight, and he kind of called it out. Then, Brad goes in, and we can see that Marcy is just as happy. She's calm. She's peaceful. She is happy to know that she got them divorce papers, and she tells Brad about it, and he was like, yeah, that's what's up. This is awesome. So then we actually see that finally Lucian and Natalie bring Justice to the jail. Justice actually meets with Kelly, and I can say this was a good scene as well. And pretty much she kind of lets him know what happened. And Justice was like, well, he was hurting you. He kept bothering you, and you just did that to defend yourself. Why are you in here? You don't deserve to be here. This is for bad people. You're not a bad person, Mom. And I was like, man, that scene was really hard to watch. And I'm like, see, this is what you're causing, Ian, which is why, Ian, you ain't shit. So until you make this right, you ain't shit in my book, and you don't deserve Marcy. I don't give a damn. So they go back and forth, and, they break down, and he's saying, I want you to come home, Mom, I want you to come home. And she's saying, I am going to come home, but, I just got to wait this out and see what's going to happen. And, he's saying that I don't want to no longer stay at Miss Natalie's house. I want to stay here with you. And, it was just like a really hard scene to watch. And she's saying that, oh, and I've heard you ain't been doing well in school. She's like, I don't want to go back to school. She's like, look, you got to. You need to be strong for me, and you need to keep your grades up. And she says that, look, I'm going to get a new lawyer, and everything's going to be okay. I'm going to get out of here. And then she's like, you always will be my baby. And I was just like, no, don't do that. Then we actually see Marcy gets a visit from Dr. Roston, and Brad is in the room, and she lets Marcy know that everything's okay. All the tests and everything has checked out, and everything's going to be fine. But they got to run some more tests, and all of a sudden you see, Marcy and Brad, embrace each other, and they look like a married couple. And then all of a sudden, Dr. Rossum's like, Brad, can I talk to you for a minute? They go out in the hallway or whatever, and pretty much, she just starts asking him, like, how involved are you? As far as this whole situation, I know it's none of my business, but I want to know what I'm dealing with here. And she was saying that, pretty much, she's saying, do you know? And then she's pretty much saying that, isn't her husband the father of the baby? And Brad was like, of course he is. It ain't me. She's like, well, how do we know that? And he kind of looked down on him, like, because we all remember Brad had a vasectomy. So all of a sudden, it gets to the point that Brad starts getting defensive and shit. And I'm like, Brad, you really got a damn attitude today, don't you? And you up here going between two damn women, and you mad because she calling your ass out about it, and you telling something, I don't think this is any of your business and all this shit, like, and what is going on? And she said, well, the reason why I'm bringing this up to you is because Alex is on her way up here on the elevator, so I kind of saw that the two of you were kind of close, and it kind of rung an alarm for me, and your wife is on the way. So I'm saying, see, Brad is all about Marcy. He ain't even thinking about Alex's ass. And he didn't want Alex to come there. But, Alex, being the simple bitch she is, showed up. And if anything, this serves Alex right, because Alex's ass should have stayed the fuck home like she was supposed to. But since you wanted to go to the hospital and try to stunt, now you about to get your face cracked. Because what ends up happening is that, all of a sudden, before Alex gets there, Psycho Betty walks up in there and starts talking big shit, like, Dr. Roston, how do I say this, are you the bitch that actually took the DNA and kept me away from my son? And she's like, excuse me? She's like, I need to call security. He's like, well, you can call security, but then I'm going to call my lawyer. I'm going to sue your ass. I'm going to sue this hospital. I'm going to see to that you'll never work again, and was just talking big shit. She's like, yeah, I'm going to go over here and call my lawyer. She's like, and I'm about to call security. Get your ass up out of here. And then all of a sudden, after that, we see all of a sudden we see, Alex come in. He's like, hey, baby. I'm like, Psycho Betty need to be put the fuck down for real. So then they confront Alex, and she's like, Alex, what the hell is he talking about me switching the DNA and all that? And then damn Brad is like, oh, don't worry. We would never expose you. Like, yeah, she told me about the great thing that you did, and I'm so glad, that you actually looked out for Alex. And Dr. Ross was like, what the fuck you talking about? Like, no, Alex, did you tell that to Brad? That I switched the DNA results? I never said that. So, did you lie and tell Brad that that's what I said? And all of a sudden we see fucking Brad get heated. And all of a sudden we see the damn Alex. I'm like, yeah, bitch, you just got caught in another motherfucking lie. And if anything, Brad, I don't give a fuck about your feelings right now because you already know she's a lying ass bitch. And you knew that before you went back there. So you can't get mad that she keeps lying because we all know that Alex ain't shit. Alex is an ain't shit type of bitch who just constantly lies to get herself out of shit. And every time she lies, she makes it worse. And then she tells more and more lies. She's a habitual fucking liar. And then he's like, one more lie, I'm gone. Well, she did the biggest lie ever. She was fucking your neighbor under your nose for over a year. Stupid ass. Alright, that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But yeah, this was a good episode. And again, I say that it's actually smart that they've actually moved it on Wednesday nights because the content on this show has gotten a lot better since they moved it. Okay, so subscribe to my channel. Click that bell to get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, follow me on all of my social platforms. I have them all listed in the description box. And also check out Legal Shield and ID Shield. Yeah, so definitely do that. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I'll be back with the next episode of Loving You Is Wrong. And I think next week is the season finale. So until then, everybody, take care.